you all. And of course, to my brothers and sisters in Guyana, Trinidad and Tobago, Jamaica, St. Lucia, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, St. Kitts and Nevis, the U.S. Virgin Islands, the British Virgin Islands, and not forgetting Barbados. Hey, that's where my guest is from. We were gonna get there, all right. Belize, the Bahamas, and to all of you who I haven't mentioned, welcome, welcome. But before I introduce you to our guest, we are going to hear it from Busy Signal opening today's segment, and this is Rise Again.
Say I see a brighter day, 'cause when the going gets rougher than rough, you have to be tougher than tough. Alright, yes, as I would say, we have to see a brighter day. Me said the road of life got so much signs, but free your mind. Me say we shall rise up, see the light once again, rise again. Everybody know for too long now. The pressure on the youth it have it gonna make we rise again, rise again. Don't tell them say we waiting too long. Stepping out of Babylon, we have to carry on. Truths and rights for every nation. We're Jamaican, Trinidad, Asian, white man or black man, we're Africans. Boy, let me tell you about the history and all the teachings of Marcus Garvey. No one got the time for listen lies was separate we. Unite, treat everyone as family. We shall rise up, see the light once again, rise again. Everybody know for too long now. The pressure on the youth it have it gonna make we rise again, rise again. Alright, blaze up the herbs and pass me the chalice. Burning out the hatred and we burning out the malice. No racist, can't see Japanese. Youths unite, build a strength from the hill to the valleys. Alright, keep your eyes on the goal. Don't lose your soul and get out of control. Some people get consumed by them social media. Half of the story has never been. Hey, we say we shall rise up, see the light once again, rise again. Everybody know for too long now. The pressure on the youth it have it gonna make we rise again, rise again. This world is a cycle, goes round and round. Put away the hatred and the frown. This world is a cycle, goes round and round. Don't fight your brother down. This world is a cycle, goes round and round. Take away your grudge and the frown. This world is a cycle, goes round and round. Don't fight your black brother down. Don't fight your white brother down, yes. Racists can't enter Zion. The most higher than warmonger them iron, yeah. Play no helping hand because we have to help one another. A man is just a man. They say we shall rise up, see the light once again, rise again. Everybody know for too long now. The pressure on the youth it have it gonna make we rise again, rise again. Me say we shall rise up, see the light once again, rise again. Everybody know for too long now. The pressure on the youth it have it gonna make we rise again, rise again. Yeah. Oh yes. Yes, cycle of life is the cycle of life is what it is. Generation to generation, pass down to generation 27.
Welcome back, my beautiful people. How are you? And I want to say a special welcome to Jamal Weekes. Welcome, Jamal. How are you?
Hey, I am doing well.
You're doing well?
Calm and peaceful.
Are you calm? Are you doing the breathing?
Listen
You're
to
okay?
me. I have learned breath and breath work helps. So
yes.
we do our work as we need to, and we settle ourselves and ground ourselves.
So
ready
let's
for the
do
day.
a 1, 2, 3. I think
let's
we
go.
need it. How about that? And you, our listeners who are tuning in, let's do the breath work. 1, 2, 3. Are we ready?
We're ready.
So 1, 2, out, and 3, in and out.
Yeah.
How do we feel?
Oh, we feel good. We
Awesome.
feel alive.
Well, folks, I need to tell you something about Jamal before we get into this excellent interview. I have the one and only Jamal. This is live, sitting right here with me in the studio of CHMR 93.5 FM. Jamal is an actor, writer, filmmaker, and storyteller. He's passionate about highlighting voices that often go unheard. Born in Barbados, he studied theater and film at the University of the West Indies and advanced television and film at Sheridan College in Ontario. Jamal later joined Rising Tide Theatre as a cinematographer and performed in their summer show, the Trinity Pageant. He played Samson in Todos Productions, stage play for Xavier Campbell's 76 Centimetres, and participated in the PARC Playwrights Retreat, where he worked on his new play, Shards. Jamal, welcome again.
Thank you so much for having me. I mean, this has been, to be fair, a long time in coming because I have had to push back the date for the interview a few times.
Listen, and you know what? We hear you. I mean, you are here, you're busy, you were doing some filming, you were doing some acting, and we're going to get into all of that, actually, what you've been doing. And but we met, I think we first met back in August or July of this year, right?
Yeah, I think it was August. It was at Musiki Night.
Musiki Night, which was it in July or August? Because that was with your friend Lydia and Rosie and
Lena,
all the other girls. Oh my gosh, yes, it was wonderful. And we don't meet too many people from the Caribbean here. Am I right?
I'm going to be honest with you. I met one Barbadian one time, a chance encounter. I was walking through the mall and I happened to hear an accent and I was like, I know this accent. But the thing is, the Bahamian accent and the Barbadian accent, there's a similarity. So I was I keep listening. So now I'm eavesdropping on this conversation and I'm edging closer to this lady and I'm like, no. She is from Barbados. So I go to her. She's probably in her maybe 70s, 80s.
Oh.
And I'm like, excuse me, are you from Barbados? And she's like, yeah. So we, so we had this whole conversation. Yeah. And she was a midwife. She moved here years and years ago.
Okay.
And I was like, you are literally the first Barbadian that I have met since I have lived here.
No way.
2 years now.
Oh,
but I've heard tell that there are other Barbadians out and about the streets of St. John's, but I have yet to meet them.
Well, listen, this is only the beginning, man. Yeah. So keep eavesdropping on the conversation.
Politely, of course.
Oh my gosh, that's great though, And actually, I have visited Barbados a few times, one of my favorite islands.
Hey.
I may have mentioned. We stayed in Christchurch, where we know you're from, and we went on to the various parishes they're called here, Canada, their provinces, over there, their parishes.
Yeah.
So let's get to it.
Hey.
All right. So Jamal, now that we know you're originally from Barbados, so give us an idea what it was like growing up for you in Barbados. Tell us something.
I think so. I mean, I have a small family. It's my mother, my sister, my father, and I. And I feel as though, in many ways, growing up in that household was really nurturing to my creative self. I grew up with my father being a jack of all trades. So he is a farmer, a fisherman, an artist, a poet. Like, he does everything. And I think in seeing how he operated and navigated the world in a lot of ways, it inspired me, I guess unconsciously, to be like, oh, I can do that. I can do things. And I also saw my mother do the same. Like, my mother is a woman who will work with, like, for example, crocheting and detail work and crafts, and she loves anything pretty. So when it comes to flowers and flower arranging, when it comes to ornaments, you will see her house is decked from head to toe, from ceiling to floor, all the time, right? And I think that gave me an appreciation for beauty, for art, for creation in a lot of different ways, right?
Absolutely. So you grew up in a very creative family,
very
then,
much so,
right?
yeah. And my sister is also a wildly talented illustrator and artist. She's a doctor, but she kind of balances the two, to the point where she actually did a program, medical illustration, so it kind of pairs the two things that she loves. So being surrounded by that, I decided that, oh well, you know what, how about I just do the full-time art thing, because everybody else is doing it on the side. Let me just be an artist full-time. So I left Barbados, came to Canada, and I have been a full-time artist after school. It's interesting.
And you said your dad was like a jack of all trades, and you became, we talked about this, and you became interested in storytelling, and you found like magic in so many things, artistic. You had creative ideas. You said you wanted to do theater. So tell us what really spawned your interest to really get into communication, acting, filming. Take it.
So I guess, so here's the thing. When we were younger, my sister and I would always like have playtime. And I remember, now I'm 2 years younger than her, and I would often be like, okay, Sheena, so it's time to play. All right, you have this character and I'm going to do this, and we're going to make a scene, right? And it was always this thing where I would be like, this is what I want this character to say, and you say it, and this is how we're going to go. And I lived for such a long time in my own world, to the point where I would be literally, and I mean, it may sound a little bit awkward and odd, but I would talk to myself and kind of be like, no, you should do this, you can do that. And I fell in love with this idea of creating worlds, creating spaces where things can happen that I just dream of, right?
Absolutely.
And it would be lost away in that imagination from, I think that was probably from the time I was maybe 5 or 6. And that carried itself all the way through my secondary school life. And when I was finishing secondary, I remember I applied for the Barbados Community College. At the time I had, so actually I'll give you a slight backstory. I went to Ellerslie Secondary School, right? And while there, I remember there was a pageant. And no, I'm not interested in pageants. I don't care to be a pageant king or prince. It's not my thing. However, there was an opportunity to be the entertainment for the pageant. I was like, this is where I should be. So I wrote this script and I got together these actors. I was one of the actors, and I said, okay, cool. So let's do this as a part of it. Now, mind you, just to put it in context, this is I was 15 at the time, and we were doing this for a school pageant. And yet, for some reason, my storyline had to do with domestic violence, revenge, and empowerment in many ways, but of course, at a cost. And when we performed it, I remember there were 2 things that happened. One, I felt as if time froze and slowed down as we were on stage. and I was saying these things as the character, and my co-stars or my scene partners were speaking to me, and while I was locked into the scene, I was so hyper aware of the audience's energy between them. And this is the auditions for it, mind you.
Right.
So at the auditions, I was aware of the entire school kind of watching and listening and paying attention, being engaged, laughing at some interesting points. And I was also swept up in the moment of the scene. The other thing that happened was at the very end of it, a teacher came to us and she was like, okay, so Jamal, I'll be honest with you, really good job. Loved it. However, the themes do not really go with the pageant. Because like I said, it was a very heavy kind of script that I wrote. Full, like, again, domestic violence and revenge. So I'm like 15 or so writing this thing and like, yes, we'll have this as a part of the pageant where people are walking in their fine wear and talking about how beautiful and wonderful everything is.
Yes.
But it gave me a taste of performance. And in that moment, I was like, oh, I need to do this again. So I went to the Barbados Community College and I applied for theater and I also applied for mass communications. Now, as I said, my father, open-minded guy, all these wonderful things. My mother, amazing supporter. So when I applied, my father pulled me aside and he was like, Jamal, so listen, now, what do you call it? Communications in Barbados is a very limited field.
I hear you.
Yeah. But theater in Barbados is an even more limited field. Please choose carefully.
So they are trying to let you know this trajectory you're on. You got to think carefully if you want to make a livelihood out of it, right?
You do. And he was like, he's on the fence about it. My mother, on the other hand, is very like, if this is what you want to do, go ahead.
Yes.
To the point where my mother would literally come to a show or watch a film that I have made 3 or 4 times because she's here to support.
So why was it so limited, do you think, in Barbados, Jamal?
The only reason it's limited is because of the size of the population, I would say. Like, there's not a lot of... we have the talent, we have the creativity and the imagination, but I think the opportunities are not always there.
So where would people go if they want to act in the Caribbean? Like, I know Trinidad is one place a lot of people did go. So if you have, like, when you were growing up and you saw somebody who wanted to act, I'm assuming you did when you were growing up, where would they go to hone their skills and to be better at their skills?
So thankfully, when I finished BCC college, I decided to then do theater. And it's funny because my father saw me doing a performance for a poem. And then he, at the end, again, stepped aside and said to me, you should do this. You should do this. So I applied to the University of West Indies, KFL campus, and that's where I actually trained. Because there's a theater program, a theater and film program there.
At UWI.
At UE.
Oh, wonderful. And UWI, for our listeners to know, that's across the Caribbean. Like, you have campuses of the University of the West Indies in Trinidad and Tobago, Jamaica as well.
And Barbados.
I think, and Barbados, not St. Lucia or St. Vincent, but those places, right?
I do think they're also, I don't know if you would call them satellite campuses, but I think there are a few pockets of smaller groupings.
Yeah, they could be called satellite. Like, for an example, Memorial has a satellite campus in the UK. In Harlow, actually.
Oh, yes, I've heard of that. Yeah.
Yep.
And that is also theater, isn't it? Like, they do theater there.
I know it's some arts program. To be honest, I can't tell you exactly, and I probably should know this, but it will not involve math and science and computers and all of that. But certainly we have a program there. And that actually draws people to the main campus, which is here at Memorial in St. John's. So sorry, go on.
No. One thing I would also add, though, is it's not that you can't be an actor in Barbados. It's just that you're juggling as many things as possible because you're working as an actor. You're also a teacher, a drama teacher. You're going to be a writer. I mean, you wear many hats, and it works. But I think for those who want to be like, I want to be a full-time actor, from my recollection, there are very few. Most persons have to kind of, and I feel like if, quite honestly, in this day and age, in 2025, that's where we are generally, where everyone is always trying to like have a side hustle or have 6 side hustles to be able to make ends meet.
Oh my goodness, yes.
I think for me, the challenge was just wanting to do more after school and it being like, okay, there are some performances and productions you can do. They're larger in scale, they're national, but you kind of want the challenge of doing it every single day, being on a stage as often as you can.
But what about storytelling? I know we've got beautiful storytellers from the Caribbean like Paul Keynes Douglas, Ken Crosby. Have you heard of these guys? I don't know. You're quite young, so they're probably my generation or older.
Yeah.
But they're remarkable storytellers. But when you were growing up then, you were interested in storyteller. Who did you listen to?
Who did I listen to? That is such a good
because
question.
you're interested in storytelling from our interview, right?
Yeah. I am wondering now who were some of my influences. Well, I'll say this. The one thing that I love about Barbados, that I also quite love and appreciate about Newfoundland, the creative communities are small, but as a result of that, they're connected. So you have this opportunity to speak to your elders, to speak to those in the industry that have been working for a minute. So for theater, for example, which its own form of storytelling, for theater, I often would have chats with Patrick Foster, he passed this year, I believe. Yeah, he was a poet, a writer, a painter, and an actor and a director. And he was a prolific writer as well. He wrote a novel. I don't know if he ever got it published in the end. Anyhow, but I had access to him. I had access to persons like Amanda Cumberbatch, Alison Seeley Smith, who's actually Canadian. She's based in Canada now. She's an actress. I still feel there are many Barbadian actors and writers and creatives that you could still talk to and kind of look up to and listen to. Varia Williams. And I think in terms of like full out storytelling, I, funny enough, did a course recently, maybe a year and some ago, with Kieran Lord, who is also a Barbadian writer. And it's that thing again of having access to these persons who are at the top of their career, who are recognized throughout the region. And you're able to literally have a chat with them and be like, okay, so tell me about how I get from point A to B in this particular area of my career and my trajectory. But growing up, yeah, I feel like if I was kind of overwhelmed by all of it, overwhelmed by ideas of all of it. One thing I can tell you that I do remember distinctly that kind of made an impression was my father was, like I said, he's a poet, right? He had this book of African American poetry. And when we were younger, he would read bits and pieces of it to us. And I think that kind of shaped my interest and love of poetry in some ways. And I think my mother's tendency to, she's a storyteller. She's a storyteller. She will tell you.
So you were surrounded by a lot of these things.
Oh yeah,
oh
it was
my
baked in.
goodness.
It was baked in.
Yeah. It's just infiltrated into you.
Very much so. So I mean, what else can you do? You know,
Yeah.
just go with the flow of it and embrace it.
Yeah, I know. Now you actually you applied for communications. Was that in Barbados?
Yes.
Right? At a college? Was it at UWI?
It was at Barbados Community College. I
Okay.
was 16 and I applied at the time for theater and I also applied for communications. I got into both of them and I chose to do communications. And that put me on a path of journalism. Well,
So why did you choose that over the other? Because I know you wanted to act. So why communication over theater?
It was that kind of nudging from my father when he said communications is limited, but theater is even more limited. Please be careful. Be careful.
So you choose the lesser of the two.
The safer option where I could at least, I could be a journalist, or it could be, at the time I didn't consider it, but I could be a public relations specialist, which is what I kind of worked as for a while in a past life. But yeah, I remember, quite honestly, I regretted that decision for the first month of college. And then after that, best decision I ever made.
Yeah, because you ended up having your degree in mass communication, right?
My associate, my first degree, my associate degree was in mass communications, and truth be told, it was the best, or one of the best educational experiences of my life. Not only did I learn and I connected with a lot of people, but it was, I think, here's the other thing about life that I've come to realize. We think we need to be at a particular point at a particular time, and in reality, sometimes it's like, no, you just let it happen, let it be. You can go in the direction, but ultimately sometimes what you want isn't what you need at this time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I did mass communications, and then I left and I went to UE to do theater finally. I think funny enough, I was actually in 2011, I ended up doing an exchange program where I went to York University for a semester. And that also exposed me to the Canadian energy of theater.
Did you have any Canadian Canadian teachers or professors who were teaching at the colleges that you went to? Do you remember?
You mean when I was in Barbados?
When you were in Barbados?
No, not at all. No,
because I know in some of the Caribbean islands, including Guyana, sometimes you do have folks coming from abroad in these areas where we don't have the expertise to teach. So I wondered if you were influenced by some beautiful and wonderful Canadians that came up there to Barbados.
No, but the funny thing, so my exposure to Canada was largely through that exchange program. When I was at BCC, the beauty is because it was communications, and I guess that influenced me in some ways. The one-time Chief Information Officer of the Barbados Government Information Service, Mr. Cave, he taught me. And I think that exposed me to how you can tell stories. So you want to be a storyteller, you can tell your stories. You can frame it for public relations, and you can still get the fulfillment of creating something that has a voice.
Absolutely.
That has meaning, right? Because I ultimately, like I said, Mr. Cave, he was once the Chief Information Officer. I ended up working for the Government Information Service.
Which we will get into more. That's awesome. Well, hey, why don't we take a little break? We are going to hear, and we can have some water and breathe and all of that. But we are going to hear a wonderful track called Young, Gifted and Black, and then we're going to hear some PSAs and some promos, and we're going to have a cricket report, and then we're going to come back with you. Now, I hope everyone knows you're still going to be here for the second hour, so people don't have to go anywhere. Let them hang tight. And in fact, we are going to now hear Bob and Marcia's Young, Gifted and Black.
We are here for it.
Young, gifted and black. Oh, what a lovely, precious dream. To be young, gifted and black. Open your heart to what I mean.
In the whole world, you know, there's a group of boys and girls who are
young, gifted and black. And that's a fact. Young, gifted and black. We must begin to tell our young. There's a world waiting for you. Yours is a quest that's just begun.
when you feeling real low. Yeah, there's a great truth you should know. To be
Young, gifted and black. Your soul's intact.
all young.
Young, gifted and black. Oh, how I long to know the truth. There were times when I look back, and I am haunted by my youth.
Oh, but my joy of today is that we can all be proud to say,
To be young, gifted and black is where it's at. Young, gifted
You're listening to
Don't touch that dial.
It's my turn. Campus and community radio stations are committed to fair play. We want to hear your voice. Visit this station to find out how you can volunteer, meet inspiring women, play women's music, attend training sessions, and develop skills for media careers. Play fair, tune in, and drop by this station. Be the change you want to hear.
This message was brought to you by Women's Hands and Voices, an initiative of the National Campus and Community Radio Association. Check out our website at ncra.ca/women.
Every second, someone flees their home due to natural disasters. The Arctic ice that regulates our planet's weather is vanishing. That means floods, famine, and more are on the rise. But there's a simple solution, and you have the right to know. My name is Parvati. Please join me in creating a healthy future with MAPS, the Marine Arctic Peace Sanctuary. Get involved at parvati.org, parvati.org. It literally means the world.
Listen to over 500 radio stations from anywhere with Radio Player, the must-have app. That's smart, lovable, easygoing, fits in anywhere. From early morning hockey practices to late night after parties. Enjoy every type of radio station, anywhere, anytime. Listen through your phone, Sonos, Google Chromecast, Google Home, Amazon Echo, Apple CarPlay, and Android Auto. Download the Radio Player app today. It's where radio plays.
Hi, this is Florian Höfner, co-curator and artistic director of the Atlantic Jazz Nights.
And you're listening to the Florian Höfner Trio, featured with other great jazz on My Jazz Links every Tuesday at 7 and Sunday at 8. CHMR FM, where words and music are far from ordinary.
Are you feeling stuck in your current music rotation? Feel like you're searching for something new and don't know where to start? Let us set you up. I'm Hannah. And I'm Christina. And we're the hosts of Blind Date on CHMR, a show where you meet a new album and we pay the bill. Every Monday, we take turns picking albums for the other person to ultimately see if it's love at first listen. Join us for all the fun every Monday night at 9 p.m. right here on CHMR 93.5 FM, Newfoundland's only alternative.
Expect the unexpected on the Newfound Records Radio Hour, Saturdays at noon on CHMR.
Did you know that community radio stations in Canada broadcast in more than 65 different languages? This is where stories come alive and where we come together. But as big international media dominates the spotlight, local news and local voices struggle to be heard. Our government must help these local stations continue to do what they do best, serve the unique needs of our communities. We're asking you to go support the Community Radio Initiative at mycri.ca. Stand with us for Community Radio Future.
Okay, my beautiful people, you know what that means. This is our cricket segment. And I want to thank our sports team of Lita and all her team members for putting this together. And here we are to read to you the International Cricket Report. West Indies met New Zealand on a rainy and blustery afternoon in a pier for the second match of their ODI series after losing to the Kiwis in the first match. New Zealand chased down 248 runs in another last-over thriller and won by 5 wickets. The victory gave them an insurmountable 2-0 series lead. Captain Mitchell Santner won the toss and chose to bowl after rain delayed the start by nearly 3 hours, reducing the game to 34 overs aside. West Indies began poorly and scored only 40 in the first overs, with early movement on the rain-affected surface helping the New Zealand bowlers. Shea Hope then took charge, moving the innings from survival to attack. He reached 50 in 42 balls and finished unbeaten on 109 from 69 deliveries, becoming the second fastest West Indian to reach 6,000 ODI runs in the process. Sherfane Rutherford and Romario Shepherd provided brief fireworks, and with Matthew Ford's quick cameo at the end, pushed the West Indies to 247 for 9. Nathan Smith, with 4 wickets, was New Zealand's best bowler and kept the run rate in check at crucial times, while Kyle Jameson picked up 3. The Black Caps' chase began cautiously before Devon Conway and Rasheen Ravindra steadied the ship, building a strong opening stand of 106. Ravindra scored 54, while Conway made an authoritative 90 runs. At 194 for 5, the match seemed close, with New Zealand still needing 54 from 29 balls. Santner then turned the match when he took 18 off Ford in the 32nd over and struck Shamar Springer for a 4 and a 6 in the next. Santner finished on 34 not out from 15 balls, while Tom Latham scored 39 not out, putting on a calm and decisive partnership to take New Zealand to the target with 3 balls to spare. This was another tight finish in a 10 series. Hope's century was brilliant, but was simply not enough, with no one else getting past 22. New Zealand's composure in the final overs ensured them a 2-0 lead with 1 match left.
Well, all original cricket fan and all West Indian and way for the hand, man. Tell them have some like put together team around the world and talk about them more contest the big WI. I don't tell you, yo, where they come from, where they come from, way for the world.
What island we come from? West Indies. Answer the call. West Indies. Come let me show them. West Indies. Come rally on. West Indies. What island we come from? West Indies. Answer the call. West Indies. Show them we culture. West Indies. Come rally on. West Indies.
I should have want to play cricket, but you take all them wicked. Any team test, you know we're going to wreck it. And we batsman, them all select it. 6 or a 4, you know we're going to make it. And him bowl LBW. He want make a run and we bowl him for ducks. Bowl him for ducks and him run out of luck. West Indies will get the gold cup.
What island we come from? West Indies. Answer the call. West Indies. Come let me show them. West Indies. Come rally on. West Indies. What island we come from? West Indies. Answer the call. West Indies. Show them we culture. West Indies. Come rally on. West Indies.
I mean,
show them how you just do it.
yeah.
Come white, show me your want. Answer the whenever you feel
Don't
it.
make them know.
This is we time.
On him ball and we lick it for 6. We get the 6 and the people.
It's a glorious hit. Not the first one that he's hit. Played some lovely shots. Marlon Samuel brings up his 50. 54 of 46. The strike rate steadily improving. Oh, further. That is This has been a superb innings from Samuels. Becomes their real asset. And a nervous day, nervous night. It was just a flick. Just a flick off his feet, Marlon Samuels. Gone way into the stands. Just look at the way he renews himself. He's hit that one hard. There's a fielder down there that's going to be out caught. Yep, another one out. They can't hit sixes, can they? On the second row end, trying to go offside. Finding the edge of Badri's fingers. Great turnaround in this match. And the dances are coming out. Style, Briscoe, and just some style. Not far enough, I don't think. Not far enough, comfortably. And Samuels adds something to the wickets column. In addition to the runs, the vital runs, the match-winning runs that he scored, they're dusting it off. They're dusting him off for the man of the match. Keep him clean. And the people love it. And him ball and we lick it before. Lick it before and the ball on more. Well, Sri Lanka have actually looked really good throughout the tournament. This is the moment. This is the moment. It is the moment. The West Indies have won the 2012 World T20. 47 runs the margin.
If you're ready to get on board, say yeah. If you're ready to wave your flag, say yeah. If you're ready to show them how, say yeah. So jump bossy, wave bossy, jump. Tyler, we come from West Indies. Answer the call. West Indies. Come, let me show them. West Indies. Come rally on.
I'm done here.
Tyler, we come from West Indies. Answer the call. West Indies. Show them the culture. Come rally on. Tyler, we come from West Indies. Answer the call. West Indies. Come, let me show them. West Indies. Come rally on. Tyler, we come from West Indies. Answer the call. West Indies. Show them the culture. West Indies. Come rally on.
Okay, my beautiful people, welcome back, and welcome Jamal. Welcome back. How are you doing?
I am easy, breezy, and chill.
And beautiful.
Yeah.
There you go. I like to use the word beautiful. I think I gotta find a synonym. For me, everything is beautiful. Beautiful people, beautiful this, beautiful that.
When the word encapsulates what it is, I mean, what else can you do?
Well, you can help me. What else would you use beside beautiful?
Gorgeous, amazing, awesome, wonderful, lovely, perfect.
Oh, awesome. Okay, you wonderful, lovely people.
Yes.
We are talking to Jamal Weekes here live in the studio, folks. Jamal is an actor, writer, and filmmaker, originally from the beautiful island of Barbados. He studied theatre and film there at the University of the West Indies and advanced television and film at Sheridan College in Ontario. He also joined Rising Tide Theatre here in Newfoundland and Labrador, which we will get into more. So, Jamal, we left off with you attaining your degrees and all of that. And I want to talk to you about the play No Country for a White Hero, because this was instrumental in creating certain aspects of your journey towards acting, film and television, storytelling, and all of that, I gather. Tell us a bit about No Country for a White Hero.
So every few years, the University of the West Indies would produce a play, and it was a heroes play, a national heroes play. We have several national heroes. Rihanna is the newest one.
Well, yes, folks. Where did you think Rihanna came from? Yes, Barbados
Yeah.
originally.
So she being one of the newest ones, I think the thing was that the plays would basically highlight aspects of these heroes' lives. Now, Professor Hilary Beckles, I'm trying to remember if he's vice chancellor now. I think he is, but he wrote the play No Country for a White Hero to speak about one particular man. I cannot remember the character's name now. I think it's T.T. I'm trying to remember his name. Anywho, but the point is that play was written specifically to highlight that there was this one particular white Barbadian man who was a force to be reckoned with in the political circles and spaces. And he actually had similar ideologies as some of the more prominent persons who came after him. So, for example, Errol Barrow, who was the father of independence, he's often called. So anyhow, I remember I got cast in this. It was directed by Harclade Walcott, one of my tutors, lecturers at the time at UE. And since then, he has been a mentor of in many ways, and actually guided me on this path towards Canada. He had said from jump, "You should try Canada. You should do this."
No
right?
way.
That was Harclade.
Why Canada? Why do you think?
I think partly because he went to Canada and he had studied there. He did York University.
Okay. Oh yes, I'm very familiar with York's film and television and communication programs. One of the best actually in the country. Yes.
So he had
Absolutely.
encouraged me, but he was the director of this play, and I came on midway through the process because I think another actor wasn't able to continue. So I ended up having, fresh out of university, this role on a large production that was. It was a major production in many ways. It was a production that was running for several, I think it was maybe 2 weeks or so. It had a long run. It was just a wonderful experience. It was wonderful to be working and training with professional actors in Barbados, to be learning from them, listening to them, and kind of taking notes. The same gentleman that I mentioned earlier, Patrick Foster, he was the lead actor in that. And I had actually that's how I connected with Patrick, and we worked separately on like acting classes, and he would guide me in a lot of the work I was doing at the time, and even auditions I was doing for schools overseas. So it was the opportunity to be exposed to the Barbadian public as an actor, fresh out of university, B, the opportunity to be exposed to my creative peers and learn from them. And then it was also the opportunity to be paid as a professional actor.
Of course.
Which we love.
Anytime you can get paid as an actor is heaven,
as
right?
a professional and feeling like, I'm doing the thing, right?
Yeah.
And it was lovely. It was I got to negotiate my contract and to learn and have those conversations and feel like, okay, now at 20, I think I was 20 at the time.
Yeah.
I'm adulting. I'm doing the thing. So it felt really, really good. And I remember that was a really insightful experience. It really felt good to kind of do the thing that you studied, to get into that field and feel as though you have a handle on maybe not every single thing, but certainly on what your path is and where you want to go. So it was a beautiful opportunity.
What struck you the most from this play? What do you think?
What struck me the most from the play?
Because did you say you acted in it? Or
yes,
you
I did. You know
So-
what? I think what struck me the most was being able to also sit and watch my teachers work. So, for example, Sonia Williams, she taught me as well. She and Patrick both taught me acting in different ways and at different points. And I got to see them on stage performing, doing their craft. And I'm there taking notes, and I'm looking and I'm like, okay, cool. Okay, I have questions. I need to ask some questions.
And you were like early 20s at this time, right?
I had just finished UE. So, you know what? I finished UE in 2013. I was 22. Yeah, I was 22, 21, 22.
Yeah.
So it was a really good experience, honestly.
Now we're gonna switch gears a little bit here move a little ways from the theater and film, and tell us what you did after studying film and theater at the University of the West Indies. Where did you go? And I know you did a lot of stuff with government information services. Talk a bit about that, please.
So So, like, as I said, I did communications, and communications is in my bones, in my blood, in my DNA.
Yes.
I am a talker. I love to have conversations with people.
No kidding.
I mean, but
Just kidding.
Yeah, no, it's true though. I do love to sit down and, as Newfoundlanders say, have a yarn.
Oh, you're picking it up. Good.
But while when I had finished UE, a colleague of mine, Michael, he approached me and he was like, yo, there's an opportunity for you if you want to work at the Barbados Government Information Service for a short period of time. I would have been filling in for him in radio. So I would have been editing audio and doing a few radio promos, etc. And that became, I went there, I find that my life is a little bit like that. I went there for a summer, for like literally to fill in for Michael for 3-4 weeks while he was on vacation. I ended up having a job at the Barbados Government Information Service for about 6 years. And in that time I was a radio officer and a press officer. So my main work was around the packaging and dissemination of information for the public on behalf of different ministries. And it's always looking at, okay, from a public education perspective, how do we get these messages out? What do we need to do to have people engage with it? That goes back to what I had mentioned with Mr. Cave, where it's like, you can tell these stories, you can find ways that are creative, that are interesting, that are engaging, and you can still get information out for people. So it's always about couching information in a way that is palatable and that is easy for people to kind of digest. So being at GIS, Government Information Service, was instrumental in my understanding of communications and in shaping stories and narratives.
So what were your jobs at these? You were with the Ministry of Culture, Ministry of Tourism, which I think would be a wonderful place to work, and Ministry of Education. So what did you do the same job in each of them or different jobs?
So I was essentially their public relations officer. So they would come to me and I would go to meetings where we would discuss, okay, so what are the plans that the ministry has, and let's see how we can, what kind of radio presence do we need to be able to send out this information. Maybe it's a promo, maybe it's a radio program. If there's a press release, for example, I would often connect and communicate with the ministers directly, because one of our jobs is going to be information being disseminated to the media. So we would be constantly in conversation with the minister about, okay, cool, let's look at how we can shape this particular message so that it works for what the ministry is doing. In addition to that, it was a lot of the joy of public relations is also creatively couching the information to help people to understand the message that you want to send out as much as is possible.
Did you have a guide? Like, I mean, of course, when we all start new jobs, we have a chaperone, a supervisor helping us. So did you have someone like that?
Many. I remember a lady by the name of Kathy Ann Husbands. Also, Yvette McLean, Paula Harper Grant. Like, so there were so many persons within that organization that were just, and I mean, we love small communities for that reason. It's like they're looking out for you. They're telling you, okay, so these are the things you might need to consider when you're writing your press releases. Because here's the thing, right? And this is something that I've come to realize with life. When you're studying, wonderful, perfect environment for all of the standard things that you expect in the field. When you get into the field,
it's a different
it's
story.
Very different. It is different.
Exactly. We all find that.
Oh yeah.
Right?
So they were able to kind of keep me grounded and understand, okay, things are not going to go as your public relation plan had set out. So pivot and do it quickly and figure out a different way to work with things. So I got the opportunity to really learn from quite a few people in that organization, in all honesty.
All right. Well, hey, listen, can you believe we've come close to the end of this first hour? See? Once you sit down and talk, it goes. But don't go anywhere, people. We're keeping Jamal here. For Jamal, I say Jamal, I have no idea why. Maybe I'm trying to be French. But Jamal, I'm keeping Jamal here for the second hour. But before we go any further, we're going to have the boys from Toronto. And this is Cobo Town. And they're going to take us out the first hour. And this is called world is turning.
In the shine of the mountain, no bells ring to call, no candles burn late and low to greet the nightfall, and the wooden saints keep watching from their shelves on the wall over the changing world. The world is turning, time marching on the field is burning, that I waiting for, and the sea is churning. The world we know is just a passing shadow. The world we know is just a passing shadow. In the fort on the coastline, 2 guns rust away. On guard against the galleons of a long vanished day. As they gaze out from their outpost on the still quiet bay, over the changing world. The world is turning, time marching on the field is burning, that I waiting for, and the sea is churning. The world we know is just a passing shadow. The world we know is just a passing shadow. In the field on the flatland, no spades break the soil. No hands remain to catch the fruit before it falls and it spoils. And the great house stares blankly across the years of blood and toil over the changing world. The world is turning, time marching on the field is burning, that I waiting for, and the sea is churning. The world we know is just a passing shadow. The world we know is just a passing shadow. You should watch your children as they sleep.
This is 93.5 CHMR FM.
Run it! This one the hit, yo. Lady Sarojini. Bless up everyone. This is Sheridan Ben from Jamaica here representing for the host, Lady Sarojini with the Caribbean Connection Show. Hey, Power 93.5 FM CHMR 11.
That's a pardon me. I'm a criminal, so get on your searching. But let me tell you though, if you never know, I'm an island man with an African culture. No drugs, no in my bag.
When we dancing, hey, you are my king, I'm your queen. We don't let nobody in between.
Live from Toronto, this is DJ Eruption. You're listening to Sarojini from Caribbean Connections. Peace out.
Then you hold my bumper and grind slow.
Hi, this is Vinod from New York City, and you're listening to Sarojini on the Caribbean Connections.
Oh yeah, your bumper is a magnet. I stick on like a magnet.
Yeah, it's magnetic. Join Sarojini on Caribbean Connections, Thursdays at 1. Walk through the sands with poetry from our great leaders and academics. Jive with us to soca, reggae, chutney, and calypso. Get your current cricket results, meet special guests, and more. Every Thursday, 11:30 Eastern, 1 p.m. Newfoundland time.
That thing just sticking on, sticking on, sticking on, sticking
Hi, folks. Welcome back. This is our number 2. And guess what? We have Jamal Weekes in the studio here with us live and in person. Jamal is an actor, writer, and filmmaker, and we're going to continue his journey here in the studio. Jamal, welcome.
Hey.
How are you feeling?
I'm good. I
You're
am really
good?
good. Yeah, man. I am calm. And
You're
I feel
calm.
good. Yeah.
We had our breaths, we had our water.
Oh, yes.
Everything is going wonderful, but we want to still extend a warm welcome to all of you listening on the island of Newfoundland and Labrador, in Toronto, Winnipeg, Regina, Saskatoon, Calgary, Vancouver, Maple Ridge, on the Sunshine Coast in beautiful British Columbia, and crossing over to New York. A special shout out to Nalini and Vinod and the Atchisons, and in Connecticut, Washington, D.C., Texas, California, Florida, going even further to New Delhi, India, Berlin, Germany, Egypt, Nigeria, Zimbabwe, Tanzania, and the Netherlands. And to you, not forgetting my brothers and sisters in the Caribbean, in Barbados.
Hey.
We're going to say Barbados first here. And in Jamaica, we know you guys are hurting, and we are all in Canada, and especially Newfoundland and Labrador. I know the Jamaican Canadian Association of Newfoundland and Labrador, the president, Didan Ashanta, is doing a lot with her team to raise funds to send to you all to help in whatever way possible. So please, we're sending lots of hugs and love to all of you. And continuing in Guyana, Trinidad and Tobago, St. Lucia, St. Vincent, and the Grenadines, St. Kitts and Nevis, the U.S. Virgin Islands, the British Virgin Islands, Belize, the Bahamas. To all of you whom I haven't mentioned, welcome, welcome. We know, you know, we still love y'all, and we always curate the show so that we can make all of you happy. But why don't we open up today's segment with this beautiful song called Stronger by Samuel Medez.
Come to world confusion, you're making me stronger. These trials, no, they can't just be coincidence, love. You're making me wiser. Full time I open up my eyes and see that the pain is making me better. Work and process, bringing out my best. You're taking me higher to unexpected. In the toughest of environments, you drop me. In the midst of all this pestilence, you got me. Could there not have been an easier way? I pray. Could I see an easier day? I got this hurt from where my trust was betrayed. How much longer will my blessings delay? And you say run to your ear, we're delayed. I wonder if you ever heard when I prayed. You tell me the thoughts you have are good and they are fear. You tell me the things that look quite good when you are finished. You say the next season of my life there'll be no limits, and the fourth man in the fire ain't no gimmicks. These things, they are making me stronger. These trials, no, they cannot be coincidence, love. You're making me wiser. Full time I open up my heart and see that the pain is making me better. Purge and process, bringing out my best. You're taking me higher than unexpected. As unexpected. I could I never know what they inside of me unless you pass me through the testing. You're trying to give me a quick ear and a slow tongue and a big heart and show me that your patience is the best thing. So I will give thanks to you and humble my heart. Heights and depths, you promise peace and rest. You promise I'll be blessed. But right now is the season you are making me stronger.
These trials, no, they cannot be coincidence, Lord. You're making me wiser. What time I open up my eyes and see that the pain is making me better. Courage and process, you're bringing out the best. You're taking me higher to unexpected. Oh God, oh God. You are my daddy, you are my friend, you are my strength and you may depend. Feeling like Daniel in a den, but you're my beginning and you know me end. And when me fall, and when me try, you make me right. You try my eye, tell me great. When me don't feel it, you feel my pain and you're gonna heal it. Then one day me realize the pain don't hurt like it used to. My life is full of blessing and it's because I choose to lean on the everlasting arms. The enemy me never lose though. I'm holding on and me no one lose you. Jesus, you are making me strong. Making me wiser. Open up my eyes, open up my eyes. You're making me better. What you have for me, I'm not quite ready, but you're taking me higher, higher. Jesus, you are making me stronger. These trials, no, they cannot be coincidence, Lord. You're making me wiser. Pretty enemy, spot my destiny, and you're making me better. Cause who I must be broken and survive the next season. Just taking me higher. There's an expected end for me. Oh, I've come to realize the changes in my life are for a reason. Orchestrated by you, God. They're orchestrated by you, God. Yahweh, oh God, you're the glory and you're the lifter of our heads. Father, in the name of Jesus, I thank you for every person that's listening to this record now, that you would let them know that what the enemy meant for evil, what the enemy meant to use to take them out, that you are turning it around for good, and that the pain was necessary. And God, that what they're going through right now is the power of the testimony in the next season. Father, I pray that they would understand that eyes have not seen, ears have not heard, and it's not even entered into their imagination. The things that you have prepared for them, not just in heaven, but here on earth. Father, let them be encouraged that for the next season, for the next level, for the next realm, that they would understand that there is a processing, and there's a pruning, and there's a stripping away, and it might feel uncomfortable. But God, in the end, Father, in the end, you're raising them up. Father, in the end, you're making them new. Father, in the end, you're causing them to walk in such a level of grace and anointing and wisdom, God, and strength that they've never experienced before. For you know the thoughts that you think towards us, God. They're good and not of evil, and they're to bring us to an expected end. And we will call upon your name, and you will always answer us. In Jesus' name.
Okay, welcome back to all of you, and welcome Jamal. How are you doing?
I am present and accounted for and feeling good with
You're
that.
feeling good.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's the main thing. You're feeling good. Now, we are hearing about your story in Barbados, and for folks who want to know something about Jamal, a little summary. I was not a little, but a big summary, and we're going to get into it more here. Jamal is an actor, writer, and filmmaker. He's originally from Barbados. He studied theater and film at the University of the West Indies and advanced television and film at Sheridan College in Ontario. Now, Jamal later joined Rising Tide Theatre right here in Newfoundland and Labrador, which we will get into. But for now, Jamal, let's hear it from you being given a grant by the government of Barbados to study in Ontario. Take us a little bit on that journey.
Okay, so what I would say first is, I think for a very long time I had wanted to expand my horizons outside of Barbados. I love my country. I deeply appreciate it. But I think I really wanted to, see what else is out there, see where else I can go. So for a long time, I remember applying to different schools. I applied for one in New York one time, and that was in 2014. I got through, but it was, when I tell you expensive, it was 90,000 US per year. For 3 years. And I was like, for 3 years. And I was like, that is that's mortgage and house and car. I can't do that. So I ended up staying doing the work thing, doing 9 to 5. And then I applied to a few colleges here, and one of the colleges was Sheridan College in Ontario. And I remember it was to do television and film. And when I got through to it, I applied to the government of Barbados, and I said, okay, so there's an arts and sports fund that supports artists, right? On projects and education and all these kinds of things. I applied to them, and I was like, so I got into this amazing school. I can cover some of my expenses, but in order to really get the fullness of this experience, I would ask that you assist me in covering some of these other costs. And they were like, yeah, sure, here you go. And that allowed me, and I mean, it was a blessing, because I don't know how people do it, but working and studying is extremely difficult. And the privilege and the blessing that it is to just sit down, lock in, do your work, and know that you don't have to think about all those things. It is absolutely, it's a burden lifted, right? So I was able to go to Sheridan to lock in, to do the work, to make the films, to learn the things I needed to learn.
And the grant was like a full scholarship grant. It paid for almost everything, Jamal.
Kind of. So I paid for I think I paid for the tuition, and the grant paid for the living expenses.
Oh, okay.
So then it was. So I was able to. Oh my, that was a wild year. I remember in preparation for that. I am not even lying to you. I worked almost every day. I was like, every job. So I had my 9 to 5 at the Government Information Service. Then I was doing all of these short projects, these small projects. Every single opportunity I had to do another gig, I was setting aside and squirreling away a little bit of money and being like, okay, this is tuition, this is this is that. And I remember I went as far as to sell my car because I was like, yeah, I'm going to Canada, I'm going to do this thing, so let's make it happen. And then I applied for the arts and sports, and I ended up getting through for the living expenses. So I was able to cover both of those things and just go freely to just study, to learn, to grow, and to kind of figure out what are the stories that I am going to be telling when I'm finished this program, you know. And it was a year-long program. It was intense.
Oh my
Sarojini, I'm not even lying to you when I say I touched down in Ontario. I went to Oakville. I did not go to Toronto until 3 months after.
What?
Because
Why is that?
because assignments and projects, and I was just like, I don't have the time to go down. And so we were just there like working. I remember the first semester break or the first term break, then it was like, okay, let's see those sights and experience the things, you know. But it was definitely a rush. It was an intense year.
And so it was 1 year.
1 year program.
So we also talked about after you studied at Sheridan College, you applied for a posting. You saw a posting with Rising Tide Theatre, of all places, in Trinity, Newfoundland and Labrador. And you didn't really have quite the geography of Canada, much less of Newfoundland. So, Jamal, this was an extremely big step to take. So tell us a bit about this journey, applying for the posting, Rising Tide Theatre. What was the posting all about? Did you know where you were coming to? Did you know what you were getting into? Talk to me about that.
Ooh, these are some interesting questions.
Oh, yeah.
My dear. So here's the thing. So after Sheridan, they, like I said, yes, as you said, there's a job board where you can kind of look and see who's looking and so on. And I remember I came across this one posting, and it was for a videographer. I was like, okay, check. That's me.
Yeah.
And they were also looking for someone who may have had some kind of theater experience. I was like, check.
Oh, yeah.
Let's go.
That's you.
So I remember I applied, and I think sometimes when I lock into something, I don't always look at the biggest picture. I just look at, oh, this is what I want, let's go, right? So I remember I applied and I went and we had an interview. I was interviewed by Donna Butt, who was the artistic director, and she was also the founder of one of the co-founders of Rising Tide Theatre. And Donna and I ended up having a conversation. It started off as an interview, and then it went into just us talking about storytelling, because I'm here for the power of the story.
Yeah.
And she was saying the same, and we just sat down and we chatted, we talked about it. And then at the end of it, I was like, that was such a great conversation. I have no idea if I got the job, but that was a great conversation. And then I think a little while later, she ended up saying, okay, good. So I need some references. I was like, oh, okay, cool. Wonderful. Let's go.
Yeah, that's a good step, right? Yeah.
And bear in mind that in preparation for this interview, I did my research. I understood that Rising Tide Theatre was in Newfoundland and Labrador, and it's been around for more than 30 years, and so I had a sense of it. But to be honest with you, when it comes to my understanding of geography, I am not the most. I'm not the strongest. I have directional challenges now and again. Quick story, really short.
Yeah.
When I was younger, there was a Woolworth in Barbados. I think it's still there actually. There was a Woolworth, and every year for school, back to school, we would be going there to buy our uniforms and everything. Right, my mother would take us there.
Yeah.
For about 8 or 9 years since I had been going to school. I was probably 11 or 12 when I realized that the upstairs section of the store that I remembered and the downstairs section are the same store. Because when we go into that store from one direction versus going from another side of the store, I would always be confused and disoriented, right? So I have a genuine challenge with direction. That being said, when I heard about Newfoundland, I was like, okay, cool. So I have this job in Newfoundland. I'm just going to rent a car, drive from Ontario, go to Newfoundland, and I'll come back. And then I started looking. Yeah. I was like, oh, maybe 3 hours, 5, maybe 7. Let's see. And then it was like, why can't I find a rental company that is here and there? Why is it that I can't have a drop-off point? And then it started to sink in when they sent me an email saying, okay, so we've arranged your flight. I was like, okay, we're flying. Okay, how far are we talking? And then I slowly came to understand and realize that Newfoundland is much further. We're no longer in
more
Kansas.
More like 3 days to drive. 3 hours flying, right?
It was so there was that. And then when I touched down in Newfoundland, I landed in the airport. A friend of mine named Mihaly, so at the time I didn't know him. We met for the first time on this trip. So he met me at the airport because Donna had arranged, because he was also coming out to Trinity. And we drove from St. John's to Trinity, which is a 3-hour drive.
What time of year was this?
That was May. I think that was spring. So that was, spring.
Okay, so you didn't... you weren't faced with heavy snowfalls or all of this yet. Things were melting away, right?
Actually, I remember when I got into Trinity and I was doing like a little itty bitty hike, which is another story I'll tell you. But I was doing this little hike and I was like, why is there snow still on the ground? There was no snow on the ground, and what is happening? And then it began to slowly kind of click in that this is definitely a different, the typography is different, the climate is different, and so on. So I had to get accustomed to that. But the funny thing is, when Mihaly's picked me up from the airport, I remember we drove and we were talking. It was a really good conversation. That was the first time I had seen St. John's by driving through it. And then the next time was about 6 months later, when I then had been on vacation or break from the theatre, and then I was back in St. John's, and then I was going to Ontario to visit friends for what we call Friendsgiving. Anywho, the thing about the entire experience, I think for me, was that I had no true concept of the space, the vastness of this province, how large it is, and I had to get accustomed to that. And also, and it was funny because even in my interview with Donna, she was like, Trinity, we're in a very rural area. And I was like, she keeps saying a rural area. What does that mean? Because I didn't have a concept of it, not truly.
Right.
And then I realized, Trinity is very quiet. It's a very, very peaceful, very quiet space.
It is beautiful, but not at all like St. John's.
No, it's a much more like, it's a cozy environment. You sit down, you kind of are in the solitude of the space, and you get to embrace, enjoy, and kind of center yourself, which I think is what I did while I was working. I had the opportunity to really decide, okay, where are you? What do you want? Where do you want to be? So it was a good time for me to ground myself. And But it was definitely a different experience, and it is, as you said, it's a beautiful place.
Yeah,
absolutely beautiful.
So, I mean, did you have like that you didn't even stay in St. John's, you just kind of went to Trinity. So, did you have a support group? What were your first impressions when you landed then in Newfoundland and at the airport, St. John's International?
So, I think one of the features that I've come to acknowledge in my life is this sense of being singular in a space. When I was in primary school and I was going to secondary school, I was the only person from my primary school that went to Ellerslie Secondary at that time. So I didn't have a concept. I didn't have friends there. I had to make friends new. When I was going to Sheridan, I did have a friend there from Barbados, but largely whenever I make these moves, it always comes up that I'm by myself. And then I have to kind of figure out and navigate that space as a lone wolf, essentially. When I went to Trinity, it was very similar. When I went to Newfoundland, it was very similar. I was like, I don't know anybody. So it was that kind of sink or swim. But the truth is, a lot of the folks there, they're very... The thing that I love about Trinity, Newfoundland in general, is on my way to work. So I lived... at one point, I lived about a half hour's walk from the theater, and
okay.
I'm a walker. I'm here to walk. You know, I love a little
I
stroll.
know that about you.
Exactly.
Yes, yeah.
So I was like, okay, I'm gonna walk to work every day. Now, in theory, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
Love it. But in reality, especially when it is raining or when there is snow, you don't want to do it. And
Heavy
sometimes
winds.
exactly, the wind will blow into your bones, and you're like, this is a feeling.
Yeah.
And funny enough, like sometimes too, I mean, often Donna or Cindy, persons would offer, you know, I'll give you a ride. I'm like, no, I'll walk. I'll get my steps in. And the funny thing is, one lesson that I learned from one of my aunts, she had said, you don't pass up a ride. So I remember on numerous occasions, I would be walking to the theater in the morning, and I would be praying because I'm like, Lord, I need to get to work soon. I'm going to be late. And on so many occasions, someone would stop.
Oh, you're kidding.
And just be like, hey, do you want to ride?
Offer you
now,
a ride.
Once upon a time, as a wee lad, my mother would often say, you do not get into strangers' cars.
Yes, absolutely.
But as an adult, I was like, outside is cold, it is windy, it is snowing, it is rainy. I am
cold.
Oh yeah, let's go. So I started literally, there were days when I would just start to work and get a ride by someone who sometimes may be going in the opposite direction. They would see me, know that I'm heading to the theater, and swing around and be like, hey, I can give you a ride to the theater. It's not going to take anything out of their day, and they go. And that was my introduction to Newfoundland.
Wow.
This idea of being seen, being acknowledged, and someone taking the time to help you through something.
Something you may not see in the big cities.
No. In Oakville, I mean, Oakville, love Oakville, lovely. But I've never experienced that in Oakville. Never experienced that in Toronto. So it was a definite like, oh yeah, this reminds me of home, because that's a Barbadian thing,
yeah,
you know,
a Caribbean thing. People help you. They see you there standing up, waiting for the bus or something. They'll say, hey, you want to ride?
Exactly.
Kind of thing.
And it's a wonderful way to feel community around you.
So it brought back the island feel, except not in the North Atlantic, right? In the real Atlantic South, warm and everything. Oh my gosh. So I must say that at the beginning you had some pretty good impressions then about Newfoundland. So what is the one thing, and I know you probably have a lot of things here, but can you think of one thing, and let's say Trinity, because you left St. John's and you went straight to Trinity. Yeah. So what is the one thing that struck you when you lived there with all of this?
You know what? I'll give you a part A and part B.
Yeah.
Part A, the island energy. There is a significant... the island energy is so present in this space that it is familiar to me.
So what do you mean by that?
Island energy is
island energy.
The way people approach community, the way people approach each other, the way people look out for each other, especially especially around the bay.
Yes, you're learning the lingo here.
I'm trying. But you definitely get that sense of people looking out for each other, people checking in on each other, and being concerned for the well-being. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That is a significant part of what I connect with in this space.
And when we had our pre-interview, which was a little while ago, and we're going to talk about why we had this delay, you talked about this feeling of community spirit and togetherness. Did you get a
very
lot
much.
of that?
Yeah. Oh,
Right.
yes. In Trinity, I knew my neighbors, and I think that's a significant thing. Coming from Barbados, you know your neighbors. I mean, I grew up in that community for sure in Christchurch, but then coming to, actually, when I was living in Oakville, I didn't know any of my neighbors. I would, you go out, you come in, that kind of thing. But in Trinity, no, you know the community. I know people that live 7 houses away from me, people that live in the next bay. You know them,
Really?
and on numerous occasions, again, like, people would go out of their way to connect with you. And for me, that sense of investment in someone else that they don't know is lovely, is wonderful. It makes you feel a part of the community versus being outside of it.
And this probably took care of some of the homesick feelings that you
it did.
had,
It
right?
did. I
Missing
won't.
home
I
and-
mean, I won't lie to you and say that it completely kind of like dissolved those feelings, because I do know that there were times when I would feel very low. Like, that was a reality, I think, and I think it still is to some degree. Because it could be what do you call it, SAD, which is seasonal affective disorder.
Right.
Like, it could be that sometimes, but I do know that there were times where I felt like I just wanted to be in a bubble, in a ball, somewhere under my bed, kind of thing.
I know.
But then you also knew within yourself that if you needed to, you could always reach out and say, hey, a friend of mine in Trinity, Cindy, I'm like, hey, Cindy,
Yeah.
can you give me a ride this place? And we would just talk, and we would
Right,
go to
right.
Clarenville and have a chat, and
Yeah.
but like, even in that, people were so willing to just. Actually, can I tell you a quick story?
Sure. Yes.
I remember I was at the store. I went to the store. So I did it for the story. I am a storyteller. I did it for the story.
Yeah.
I walked to the store, which was a 2-hour walk.
Oh my goodness.
And I was
in
like,
Trinity.
oh yeah, because the store that I was going to specifically, it was far, and I didn't have a car.
Yeah.
So, and that's a point to note. Generally speaking, it's good to have a car in Newfoundland, specifically in rural areas.
Yeah.
But I remember I walked to the store, and as I was walking back, I now was weighed down by these large heavy bags. And I was like, I am tired. I want to get home quickly, but I have to do this walk. Let us go. And as I'm marching on, a red car pulls up next to me, a guy named Travis. I didn't meet him before. He pulls up next to me. He's like, yo, I saw you walking up earlier. Do you want a ride down? I was like, sure, let's do that. And just like that, and those moments make me feel connected and more like,
He actually said he saw you.
Yeah,
right?
he saw me. He saw me when I was going to the store, and on his way back when he saw me again, he was like, oh, I'll just stop and ask you if you need a ride.
What's he doing driving around back and forth?
Well, it took me 2 hours to get there, so he
Yeah.
probably went on 7 errands, and then he was going back home.
my
And I was like, yes,
yeah,
I will take this ride. And from there, and I mean, like, oh my, just... Yeah, there's actually, like, even now, like, so it's Independence Time in Barbados right now, and one of the traditions that I remember would be like, your neighbor would make conkeys, which is this kind of sweet pastry type of, it's not pastry really, but it's this sweet treat
right
made of cornmeal and raisins. I love raisins in my conkeys.
Okay.
Anywho, but they so when your neighbor makes this, she's gonna give you some, give your neighbor some, and everybody gets some conkeys. You don't pay for it, nothing like that, right?
No.
I remember a day, I can't remember what had happened, but I think I had asked Travis, a friend of mine was coming, a friend of mine from Ontario, his name is Jabari. He was coming to visit me. He and his girlfriend were coming to visit me, Lily. And I remember I was like, oh, I would love them to have some Newfoundland burgers and some fish, some cod, because, when in Rome.
Yes.
So I had mentioned that to Travis, and I was like, yeah, Travis, where would I be able to get? He was like, don't worry about it. I am thinking to myself, because I'm going to pay for this, right? I'm thinking to myself, I'll get like 2 or 3. When I got home, I ended up getting a box full of frozen cod. I think there was salmon as well. And also moose burgers.
No
and
way.
I didn't have to pay him, and that again came back to this sense, so island energy, this idea of if I have, I will give it to you because I know you want some or you need some or whatever the case is. And I was literally like, but shit, I could pay you for this. And he was like, no, it's good. Don't worry about it. Make a donation to the fire department if anything, but you're good.
Well, hi Travis. Thank you for that.
And yeah, my friends Lily and Jabari had an enjoyable time eating some.
You guys cooked it at home, right?
Well, yes, we did. I am a vegetarian, so I didn't indulge in, but I was glad for them to have that experience of moose burger, or is it moose sausages? And it was good.
So who cooked the fish?
Oh, Jabari's a cook. He can sort that out easily.
Oh my God. Listen, food is a topic we can go on a tangent and never
dive.
come back, right? Into the rabbit hole with that. But listen, why don't we take a quick break? And we're going to hear some announcements and all of that good stuff. And we're going to come back with Jamal. So, folks, hang tight. Don't go away. We've got Jamal Weekes in the studio here with us live. He's an actor, writer, and filmmaker. And we're going to be right back. So, don't go away. Stay with us.
That's a man's job.
Wow, did this dude just tell a sexist joke? That's so awkward. That other guy noticed. He's also uncomfortable. I'm sick of guys trying to show off by putting women down. Bro, honestly, that's not even funny.
You're right, man. My bad. It's time to draw the line. Step up, speak up, and be an ally. Challenge sexism and sexual violence. Visit dtl.whiteribbon.ca. A message brought to you by White Ribbon.
This is the social media news. I'm your friend's kid brother. My classmate Jeff told me that immigrants are coming to Canada to steal our toys. Jeff also says he has a tattoo, but the tattoo artist made him swear not to show anyone. Jeff is so cool.
Social media isn't journalism, so why does our government give billions to social networks while Canadian newsrooms die out? Visit friends.ca to learn more. Authorized by Friends of Canadian Broadcasting.
Volunteering. It can begin with the simplest of gestures. A gift of time, energy, commitment. Something precious that grows stronger with every hand that touches it and grows across communities and through the very fabric of our nation and begins, once again, with the simplest of gestures. To Canada's 6.5 million volunteers, thanks. A message from Volunteer Canada, the Government of Canada, and this station.
Are you feeling stuck in your current music rotation? Feel like you're searching for something new and don't know where to start? Let us set you up. I'm Hannah. And I'm Christina. And we're the hosts of Blind Date on CHMR, a show where you meet a new album and we pay the bill. Every Monday, we take turns picking albums for the other person to ultimately see if it's love at first listen. Join us for all the fun every Monday night at 9 p.m. right here on CHMR 93.5 FM, Newfoundland's only alternative.
Join me on Sundays at 1 p.m. for Jigs Dinner. All your best Newfoundland, Irish and Celtic music right here on 93.5 FM.
Hi, I'm Ivan Emke. Join me for Roots and Branches and Beyond, the weekly musical excursion setting off from Celtic music and moving beyond geographically, stylistically, and culturally, music plus context. Every Saturday morning at 11 right here on CHMR 93.5 FM. Travel the world without changing planes in Halifax.
Folks, so you know what that means. This is time for our cricket segment, and this is actually the local cricket report. This is the Indoor Blitz Championships 2025 report. And this is the Cricket NL Indoor Fall League 2025 report by Abdullah Khalid Butt, who is the editor-in-chief of Total Sports Flick. The Indoor Blitz Championship 2025 is heating up as both groups begin to take shape. In Group A, the NL Stars and Gladiators remain unbeaten, with 2 wins each, dominating with powerful net run rates and setting the early standard. The Mavericks sit close behind with 2 wins from 3, while BD Power and Hurricanes have a win apiece but struggle to run rate. Kerala CC remain winless at the bottom. Over in Group B, the Wolves stand tall as the only team with a perfect record, 3 wins from 3, while the Eagles and NSK stay firmly in the chase with 2 victories each. The Panthers pick up 1 win from 2, and both Punjab Warriors and NL Cobras are still hunting for their first points of the tournament. On the individual front, Inbul Chowdhury leads the bowling charts with 5 wickets, followed by Najaf Raza's 4 in 2 innings, Nasir U, Saksham K, and Arna B are tied with 3 wickets each. With the bat, Nadishan Always tops the scoring list with 131 runs, while Anthony B follows closely with 126 in just 2 outings. Rakesh N. Zidane A and Yuvraj S share the next positions with 91 runs each, keeping the race for the Golden Bat wide open. With tight tables, standout performances, and rising pressure, the Indoor Blitz Championship 2025 is building toward a thrilling next phase. Stay tuned for more action.
Warriors, say warriors, come down. Golden heroes of the Amazon, we are the warriors. Get for battle, the lines are drawn. Warriors of the Amazon. This is our shield, this is our sword. All for one and one for all. We are the strong, tried and true, flashing our blade. We fight for you. Fly, golden arrowhead, fly. Warriors. Kiss the plunder, we stand together, we never never surrender. We're here to fight with all our might. We will defend to the very end. We will attack with the crack of our bat. We never give up, straight to the top. We have no fear, victory is here. Our aim is high, we shoot for the sky. Fly, golden arrowhead, fly. We are the Amazon warriors. Over the mountains, across the seas. Warriors of the Amazon. Golden arrow, shoot to victory. Warriors of the Amazon.
All right, folks, welcome back. That was a great track, wasn't it? About the Guyana Amazon warriors. Oh my gosh. And Jamal was telling me that he kind of liked this track, don't you, Jamal? This one,
Yeah,
huh?
it has a really, really good sound and vibe to it, honestly.
Yeah. I think they do justice to this song. Actually, you know, the Guyana Amazon Warriors is quite the team. So I am very happy about that. So anyways, folks, this song was by Calvin Burnett and it was called Warriors. Now, let's continue with the one and only Jamal Weekes. We have got Jamal here in the studio with us live and in person. Jamal is an actor, writer, and filmmaker. So Jamal, we stopped in Trinity. You're still there with Rising Tide Theatre, and your tasks from what we had talked about included social media content creator, actor, editor, cinematographer, and videographer. So tell us a little bit what you did for Rising Tide. How long was the contract for, and what happened after the end of that contract? So take it away, my friend.
Well, when I was working for Rising Tide, I came on as a videographer for the first year. Well, it was a summer job. It was some summer position, and what was really interesting was I literally packed my bags and was like, okay, I'm leaving Ontario and I'm coming to Newfoundland for summer, and I'll figure out my life after that. But then that summer position became fall, winter, etc. because we still had, so in the summer I did these social media promotions for the play and the plays that they had. But then after that we were back into what I had been talking to Donna about when I first came on, which was their digital project. Essentially, they were looking to take all of their plays and make it accessible online, giving us visuals, restaging and filming certain bits of different scenes from plays and so on. And that was essentially my task after the summer. Me and several others, Cindy, Mallory, Donna, we kind of worked through scheduling and so on to film the coming year and basically produce this work. And that ended up, like I said, I would always say I came to Newfoundland for a summer and I stayed for 2 years.
Oh, look at
it
that.
It became that type of a thing, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So what else were you doing with Rising Tide? Like, it seems like you held a variety of positions while you worked with Rising Tide Theatre, which we know now has been founded for 30 years, correct?
For quite a while. I think 1996 is when they went into Trinity for the first time. 1996? or 1993.
Do you know who founded Rising Tide?
Donna Butt and Rick Boland. They went out to Trinity and decided we should put a theater here, and it worked.
And you
It
mentioned
worked.
her name earlier, and you met Donna, right?
Oh, nice!
Yes,
yeah.
yes.
I also was the editor, one of the editors for the project, and I performed as an actor in the second year I was there. I was an actor in the Trinity Pageant, which, interesting enough, is kind of what brought me in some ways to St. John's, because what happened was, I'm trying to remember how it happened. I think I either saw Santiago Guzman online on Facebook and I added him, or he added me, and I remember he reached out to me that summer and he was like, "Hey Jamal, I know that you're in Trinity now, and I would love to have a chat with you, as you are he puts it in terms, I think, a racialized person in Newfoundland in the arts, and would love to chat with you." And I was like,
gosh, because I mean, Santiago is a gem here in Newfoundland in theater, arts, film, and television. And anybody who's in that league, they know of Santiago. So you were contacted by the big league.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember if I added him, but I just remember he did send me a message in the end. I think I may have reached out and added him, and then he messaged me.
Yes.
But I was so like, yeah, let's have a conversation. So he kind of gave me a sense of like, okay, so this is the arts world, the theater world.
Okay.
And I remember soon after that conversation, he had said to me, "Jamal, I would love you to audition for this play that I'm supposed to be directing. And it's called 76 Centimetres.
Todos Productions.
Yes,
right?
Todos
Yeah,
Productions was
Todos.
doing 76 Centimetres at the time. And I was like, oh no, I can't audition because my contract right now, I'm not yet a permanent resident. Oh, this isn't going to work. And I was really concerned. In the end though, I think I submitted an audition the second time around when they were calling for auditions again, and I got the part. So I got the opportunity then to come to St. John's, and Rising Tide was gracious enough to be like, okay, you are here, but we'll allow you to do this thing because we know that that's where your heart is in performance and stage.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, how kind of them.
Oh, yeah. They understood because, again, it's run by artists as well, right?
So did they let you terminate your contract to come to Santiago's play?
It was more like, what do you call it? Subcontracted, I guess. So I was able to then work as an actor, because obviously I'm still going to be doing my work for the theater as is needed.
Yes.
So I was able to come do that and continue in this process of kind of being an artist and growing in that way. And working with Santiago was on Xavier Michael Campbell's play 76 Centimetres, which is how I also came to learn about CHMR, because we came here for an interview.
There you go.
Me and my scene partner and Blake Pine, we worked on that play this year. So that was an exciting opportunity to really delve into it. And from there, actually through Rising Tide, I met Ruth Lawrence as well.
Ruth Lawrence?
Ruth Lawrence,
she's
a powerhouse as well.
Big wig here in Newfoundland and Labrador, yes. I mean, these are all people who've held and are holding significant roles, as you know, so to be hooked up with them is awesome. So when did you end the contract, or
Rising
did
Tide?
you end the contract with Rising Tide?
That's interesting. So the contract ended, I think at the end of April of this year. But the thing is, I'm still working with them. Kind of like I'm supposed to work with them on another section or phase. It's literally the final lap of this project. So I'm actually I was in contact with Don up to yesterday, I think it was, because we just need to wrap up and tidy up a few things. But definitely it is now that I'm now based in St. John's. I'm fully moved out of Trinity, based in St. John's, and kind of moving with the television and film groups and crews here in St. John's, which has been a wildly interesting experience, to say the least.
Yeah. Well, why do you say wild?
Because I think having the opportunity to live this life of being an actor, being a person on a crew on a film set, it's an adrenaline rush when you are in it. Obviously, there are times where you're like, waiting for work or looking for work, so on, but then there are also times where you're like, yo, we have to shoot today, tomorrow. We have 6, 8, 12-hour shoots. I know for some people it can be longer because, you know,
Yeah,
the shoot date is what it will be.
Exactly.
But it has been amazingly exciting.
Wow. So this is why our show got delayed, because you had called me to say, oh, you know, this is what's happening. And I'm like, you know what? No stress. You go for it, Jamal.
Yeah.
This is important, you know.
Yeah.
So you said it was just invigorating, right? You had this exposure. Did you have this before in Ontario, this type of exposure?
I didn't have enough time. So I literally graduated. The program finished in December, and I was out of Ontario by May of the next year. So I didn't have much time being in Ontario to kind of assess I mean, I did work on some films. I did for sure. But this has been like the most I've been able to kind of be immersed in the world of film in Canada.
You're kidding. And right here in Newfoundland and Labrador.
Yeah.
So we are going to switch over a little bit here. You talked about summer theater being the hub for the artistic community. We talked in our pre-interview about Stephenville Theater Festival, how it impacted your life. We talked about Shakespeare by the Sea and touring with 76 Centimetres. So do you want to talk a little bit about these? You can encompass them all together. Doesn't matter.
What I would say is my spring and summer have been overwhelmingly wonderful. So in the spring, I was a part of the PARC Retreat, which is the Playwrights of Atlantic Canada retreat, where I was able to work on a play that I'm currently developing called Shards. That was actually a part of a recent competition in Barbados. It won a silver award as well as an incentive award.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Directed by Varia Williams in Barbados. It's so interesting to be a writer and have your work be in another space. But Varia, Tiffany...
And you are the playwright for Stray
Shards, yeah. So Varia directed it, Tiffany Williams and Akil Eiffel acted in it. So that's Stray Shards. I worked on that through the Playwrights Retreat, PARC's Retreat. Then later down the line, I was with Shakespeare by the Sea, where I did a summer of theatre there. And it's so interesting. So I was working with Lynn Panting, right? She was the director of Love's Labour's Lost.
Another big wig.
Oh, yeah. Yes. And I remember I told Lynn, I was like, Lynn, I'm going to be honest with you. Like, I want to do this, but at the same time, there's an opportunity for me to work in Stephenville, working with Laura Caswell as a part of the Stephenville Theatre Festival. And Lynn was like, okay, no, you told me this from the beginning. That is fine. We will make it work. Yeah. So Lynn legitimately scheduled it in such a way that I was able to do all of my necessary rehearsals in the first part, go to Stephenville, and then I literally came and jumped right back into performing with Shakespeare by the Sea for the summer.
And where did you guys go with Shakespeare?
We performed it here, actually. We performed Love's Labour's Lost. I don't know Man's campus that well, but it was out by the science buildings, I think.
Yeah. Were there other locations? Were you in Conception Bay South? Or
no.
Any
so
of that?
Our production in particular, we stayed on Man campus. We actually did there's an area, like a courtyard area, and then for 2 days we did Under the Whale. I really don't know the name of that building, but there's a whale skeleton
the core
there.
science building, the whale atrium. That's a brand new building.
Beautiful building.
Our former Prime Minister Justin Trudeau actually came when we opened that building. Those two buildings. Yes.
Nice.
And I might make a plug right here, not to take away from you. There's an international multicultural fashion show this Sunday right there.
Seriously?
In the core science building underneath the whale atrium.
We love that.
Yeah, if you and anyone listening would like to go, we are going, and it's just a fashion show. Nothing else. It's an international multicultural fashion show.
Now, if I could go, it would remind me of old times when you and I walked a fashion show as well.
Oh, look at that. Yes.
You remember it was...
in the summertime with Tambolo Multicultural Festival. Look at that. How things are falling into play.
Full circle.
My gosh. Jamal, can you believe we're coming close to the end of our second hour? But Did you want to talk a little bit about Stray Shards? And you said your dad was the impetus for this play.
Yeah,
you
my father.
Talk a bit about that.
Stray Shards is a play that is based in part on my father's experiences with dementia. It is the most difficult thing to watch someone you know disappear, and yet they stay present in the body.
Yes.
At least their body is present, and the play is essentially kind of me examining what would it be if a man were to go through this and his partner has to kind of process that with him, you know? So that has been a transformative journey in so many ways. I was able to develop it through PARC, and then I've gotten some guidance and direction from various dramaturgs. Mike Payette in Ontario, Santiago has been instrumental in helping me to develop this piece as well. And I'm actually it's going to be on in the LSPU Hall next year, February, as a part of their incubator program.
So way.
Shout out to Megan Greeley.
You're going to have to give us all updates on that. I would have to go to that.
You should, yes.
Yes.
And my goal is Lydia Makaga is going to be reading in this play as well. So I just need to find someone else to be a part of it. So I'm excited.
Yeah. Oh, congratulations, Jamal. I mean, you've done so much in a short period of time, not only in Canada, but in Newfoundland and Labrador.
Yeah.
So tell us, what are your parting words to folks who would like to take that leap of faith and guess what? Come to a new place where it's pretty well and unknown to them and just continue on this trajectory. What are your parting words?
My parting words? I have many. These are the two that I will leave with you.
One,
if you're thinking about it, please do yourself a favor, do it and research it.
Yes.
Research it.
Research.
Ask as many people as you can. I didn't do enough research, just generally when I was even coming to Canada and all these things.
Yeah.
Do the research. The other thing I would say is do not compare your experience, do not compare your path to anyone else.
Exactly.
Because I think that becomes comparison is the thief of joy, right? I remember that's a saying from, is it Roosevelt?
You are so right. The theft of joy. Yes.
And
yes.
Social media helps us to compare, and it's very dangerous because I think what happens is we think to ourselves, I should be there, I should be here, I should be doing this. And it's like, no, babe, do what you are doing. Do it well, enjoy it, and figure out the next step for you that is best for you. Don't look at someone else's journey because there's so many layers and levels to it. So, embrace, walk forward.
Well said. Well said. Thank you, Jamal. On behalf of all of us here at Caribbean Connections, we would like to say thank you so very much for accepting our invitation to come and share your story with us. It was really inspiring, I have to tell you. And I know everyone listening loved every minute, and we will soon enough have this up on YouTube so that folks who have missed it will have it, and who have listened can send it along to their friends. Jamal, we wish you continued success in your endeavors and beyond. Thank you very much again. Thank you so much.
Thank you as well. It has been amazing and awesome and wonderful, and I really do appreciate it. I am so glad that we got to do it, and I did not again have to kind of be like, oh, can we postpone? I'm really glad.
Oh my God, don't you worry about that. To me, like you say, when you're in this business, we understand, we're radio, and our program director is a writer. She's done a lot. Rhea, we've got Colleen Power, news director. She's a singer, songwriter. She just came out with a new album, some new videos.
Wow,
yeah,
nice.
You should talk to her. So we know all about this, not to worry. And folks, we want to thank you very much for listening here today. It really means a lot to us. And I know you certainly enjoyed Jamal Weekes' story here on Caribbean Connections. And we want to remind you to stay well, stay healthy, be kind, take care of yourselves and of each other. Enjoy this wonderful weekend. And we want to take you out with actually an artist who originated, he is from Sudan, but he came to Newfoundland and Labrador, and now he's in Ontario. This is Zuba 4000 kg. And this track, and I will tell you the name of this track, it is called Magnet. And it's just like you, Jamal, being a magnet.
Magnetic personality, let's go.
Exactly. So why don't we give it up for Zuba 4000 kg? This is Magnet, and we'll see you here next time, every Thursday at 1 p.m. in Newfoundland, 11:30 a.m. Eastern. Bye for now.
First time you passed by, my car crashed. Ooh, yeah. The way you move made my car rush. Baby, I wanna make up to you. I should just run with you. I'm crazy, lonely, lonely. I'm crazy, lonely, lonely, girl. I'm crazy, so lonely, girl. So lonely, you are like magnet. So lonely, girl. So lonely, your body like magnet. So lonely, girl. So lonely, you are like magnet. So lonely, girl. So lonely, your body like magnet. Yeah, is it juju wala mula one day? Ooh yeah. Me and my wedding nariga, we no way, baby. I'm into you like buzz my homie. Yeah, yeah. I don't care who sees what I go do with my body. Clear my head surface and say no. I be trying to clear my head surface, it's no true. I be trying to clear my head surface and say no. I be trying to clear my head surface, it's not true. No, so lonely, girl. So lonely, you are like magnet. So lonely, girl. So lonely, your body like magnet. So lonely, girl. So lonely, you are like magnet. So lonely, girl. So lonely, your body like magnet.
I'm into you like your money. You come like a ghost and disappear, sana. I'm into you like your money. Make you wine, make you shine. Let me bounce with you, don't be shy. I wanna be rubber side every day. I like your swag, let's get it the one. Dope dinner. Dope dinner. When I think about our love, dope dinner. I think about our kiss, dope dinner. I think about our touch.
So lonely, girl. So lonely, you are like magnet. So lonely, girl. So lonely, your body like magnet. So lonely, girl. So lonely, you are like magnet. So lonely, girl. So lonely, your body like magnet. Yeah, is it juju wala mula one day, baby? Me and my wedding nariga, we no way. Tell me, I'm into you like buzz my homie. Yeah, yeah. I don't care who sees what you go do with my body. Clear my head surface and say no. I be trying to clear my head surface, it's no true. I be trying to clear my head surface and say no. I be trying to clear my head surface, it's not true. No, so lonely, girl. So lonely, you are like magnet. So lonely, girl. So lonely, your body like magnet. So lonely, girl. So lonely, you are like magnet. So lonely, girl. So lonely, your body like magnet.
This is 93.5 CHMR FM.